as usual. You used to tell me that everything would be alright. You used to tell me that everything would be documents and paper were terrified. They use it all the time to wrongly justify. Diagnosis is key, while simultaneously labels me a monster and tells me that's what I need. It'll take no time before I fall. It'll take no time before I fall. Stop losing your head and wishing you were dead. I need to tell myself everything will be alright. The help available is really difficult, but I need to tell myself everything will be alright. I need to tell myself everything will be alright.
Hi, so welcome, Monstrosa. Today, Emma couldn't join us unfortunately today, but we have Lauren and Shannon here. So I was just wondering if you guys could introduce yourself, just real quick, a couple words.
So my name is Lauren. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the lead singer, and I also play rhythm guitar in the band.
And I'm Shannon. I am the bassist of the band, and my pronouns are she, her.
So I was wondering, first question is a very basic one. I was just wondering if you guys could tell me a little bit about your musical influences.
Yeah, so we call ourselves alt metal essentially because we love a lot of hard rock bands, and me and Emma in particular, we played guitar growing up together, and we used to just learn Muse covers all the time. We would play Muse all the time. It was our favorite thing. And you'll hear it come across in the songs, especially with Emma's lead part. She has a fuzz sound to it. So a huge influence is definitely Muse. We also love Radiohead. St. Vincent is another influence, and I think, yeah, and I'm more of the metalhead in the band, so I listen to a lot of Machine Head and Lamb of God, and I think where that influence comes in is for my parts in guitar in particular. I like to use a lot of chugging and like heavier drop D sounding things, and I think between that and Emma's fuzz, it kind of creates a cool sound. And I mean, a lot of the songs depend on the two guitars. Like we do guitar harmonies and all that kind of stuff. So those are probably, I'd say, some of the biggest influences.
So yeah, I really like the name Monstrosa, and it reminds me of the Latin etymology of monster, which means to show, right? And it's holding a mirror to society. And so I was wondering if that was the idea and how you kind of came up with that name.
Yeah, that's 100% a huge part of it. So I'm glad you brought it up. We really like talking about the name because exactly it is Latin for monstrous. And one of the biggest things that we talk about in terms of subject matter in the band is this idea of women being monstrous because we're overly emotional, or stereotypes that have to do with mental illness as well. I sing a lot about having BPD. And there's tons of stereotypes where if you're a woman with BPD, you're like manipulative and you're evil and you're like a monster. So we really like to play with that idea. And Emma does fantastic visuals for our music as well, where she kind of turns us into monsters. But it's also fun because we want to like, you know, bring like a fun side to dark subject matter. So there's mental illness, but people with mental illness can thrive. So we want to do both of those things in the subject. I don't know if Shannon wanted to add anything as well.
No, yeah, for sure. I think, like Lauren said, a lot of what she sings about is with dealing with mental health. So we want women and other people to feel like it's okay to have these struggles without having to be labeled as bad or wrong or as monstrous, because everybody deals with these sort of things, and it's okay to be honest about that and open about that and to sing about that.
I was wondering if in the reception that you've had, would you say that a lot of people superficially focus on the girl band aspect, or do they actually look deeper at the themes and the technical aspects of the music itself?
That's a really good question. I think we've been really lucky, not even lucky. I just feel like the people who listen to our music and who we've connected with are exactly who we want to be connecting with in a sense. Like we have a lot of like queer followers and like a lot of women, and that really means a lot to us. And I'm glad that we're reaching people with our lyrics and subject matter. In terms of, honing in on like the girl band thing, I find that happens with like older audiences. Like if I'm to talk to like, I don't know, like my dad's friends or something, they'll just be like, "Oh, you're a girl band. You're just like this one other girl band I know." Because it's like if someone's like a woman, then they're quick to be like, "Do you know this other girl band?" Like kind of thing. Um, but yeah, in terms of, I mean, the people that we see at our shows and we talk to, it's definitely not. It's funny, we don't even like refer to ourselves too much as a girl band because we just are Monstrosa, and I think that that's an important thing. And I think it can be frustrating when people are just like, oh, like we're just gonna focus on this one part, because like you said, like it's really great that we have followers who pay attention to the meanings of the lyrics and who are like, I like that guitar riff, or I really like that bass part. So yeah, I feel like it actually hasn't been too much, but it depends on the people.
Yeah, I also think we've surrounded ourselves with other bands who are like who have also embraced us and like given us many opportunities, like shows that we play with. Like we've opened for some really good bands who were like so supportive, and they're like, the fact that we're like a girl band doesn't like, they aren't, that's not what they're like interested in. It's more that they like our music, they like our sound, which I think is really important.
Yeah, your song Axes is about misogyny in the music scene. And I was wondering, I mean, I guess it's very tied into what we just talked about, but how prevalent would you say misogyny is specifically in the music scene, and how does it manifest itself? Is it could be like outright misogyny or kind of smaller things like microaggressions or just plain ignorance? How do you guys experience that?
Yeah, so the song Axes, the specific incident that inspired that song was when me and Emma were going guitar shopping. I mean, that's just one part of the music industry, is going to Long and McQuaid or going to a guitar store. And it was always like sexism straight up. Like it would just be like really rude, condescending questions. Like I'd be like trying to try a pedal and they're like, "Do you even know what that does?" and stuff like that. And it's so I dreaded going into guitar stores my whole life. And me and Emma that summer, because we were shopping for new guitars, were like, we're going to go together and we're going to ask for what we need. And like, but it was just like microaggressions and sometimes just full on aggressions. Misogyny is super prevalent, unfortunately. And again, like we cultivate like a safe space at our shows, and that's why, we want people in our communities to come together. But, in the wider community of things, like we posted, it was just an Instagram reel, and immediately it was like 10 homophobes started commenting on it. And, and this is just another example, like Schecter Guitar, which is like the guitar that I have, they post people, they repost people playing guitar, and they posted a woman, and immediately same thing. It was just all these sexist comments. Like she was playing great, but they just wanted to say all these horrible things. So, we try, and I try really hard to like protect our fans from that kind of thing, because I don't want them to see like us getting torn down or like the horrible things that people do say to us. So like I'll block them and stuff like that. And at our shows, it's like you're not allowed in here if you're gonna be like a jerk. So, but it's definitely still a really prevalent issue. And we're in a genre too that's like male dominated. Most music genres are, quite frankly, still to this day. So, it can be hard to get taken seriously, but we just block out the noise a lot of the time.
Yeah, I think a lot of my own fears and insecurities comes from internalized misogyny. Like I'm afraid, like even being on there, like being up on the stage, I'm like, I never claimed to be the best musician, but I'm so afraid of some guy to be like, and she doesn't even know like what she's doing, or she doesn't even know what kind of bass she's playing. And I think social media definitely adds to like sort of the like, you're behind a screen, it gives people free range to attack everyone, but women especially. Yeah, I follow a bunch of guitar pages, guitar pages, and it's a lot of the times, anytime like, yeah, Gibson will post like, oh, woman with a guitar and she's performing, it's a lot of comments like, oh wow, she sure missed that note, or like anything like just, oh, why are they even sharing this? And it's frustrating, but I'm very lucky because with Lauren and Emma, they're so supportive that they give me they make me feel proud to be a woman and to be a woman musician, which is just, it makes me feel so grateful to be in this band.
Sometimes I come home to sound
Okay, so I read in an interview that the instrumental song Attacker is about violence against women. And I thought it was interesting that you chose to make it an instrumental song. And um, I was wondering what specific reason might have made you choose that.
Yeah, so fun fact about Attacker, it originally did have lyrics. And what inspired that song was Shannon came up with the song title. It was Text Me When You're Home. Kind of because it's like that's what we tell our woman friends all the time. It'll be midday and I'll still say that because I'm anxious that they're not going to get home okay. And so, Shannon came up with the idea and I went home and I wrote this really angry metal song and I wrote the lyrics. And then when we went into the studio to record it, I felt like I was like stepping on the guitars and it was a bit too busy. So we ended up making an instrumental because that way people can kind of take away from it what they want. But at the same time, I think, and this is kind of a cool future thing for fans, but we're going to probably re-record it with the lyrics on the next album just as a bonus track because even though like we really love it as an instrumental because the anger came across in the guitars, I think that that idea of text me when you're home, which is the main lyric in the chorus, I'm like we should really like re-release this. So we're excited to do that for sure. And yeah, it's scary. Like it doesn't matter where you are in the world. Like obviously it's just nighttime is not a time for women to be out. So that was the whole inspiration behind it and how just prevalent like sexual violence is still, and it's not going away.
Well, that leads me to the next question, I guess. What's the situation regarding sexual violence and street harassment in particular in Toronto? So this interview is airing in Europe, where it's a very prevalent subject. And I was wondering if you knew of any organizations that help with these issues, and if you had any sort of shout out to give to, for resources.
Yeah, I remember this summer there were reports of a lot of attacks in the west end of Toronto, in Etobicoke, and I feel like Church and King was a really bad area. And I remember making a post to share resources, so I pulled that post up really quickly. So the White Ribbon Campaign, which I believe started after the December 6th attack at the Polytech University in Montreal. That's a really good resource. 1 in 6 for men who face assault. The Assaulted Women's Helpline is really good. The Barbara Schleifer Clinic, those are all really good resources for people in Toronto who are facing abuse or assault and just need some support. Unfortunately, we live in a patriarchal society. Violence against women is incredibly prevalent in Toronto, as it is, I'm sure, in Europe. And it's really sad and scary to hear all these accounts of harassment and assault. But it is reassuring that there are groups, there is support, and for women who face this to know that they're not alone.
on a positive note, I really, really enjoyed All Hail because it was such an empowering, positive way to end the album after dealing with some very difficult themes like internalized homophobia, mental health stigma, sexism, trauma, and I almost felt like a devotional, spiritual aspect to the song, and I was wondering if that was a conscious choice, like a witches versus the patriarchy sort of statement.
It was definitely a conscious choice. I definitely, with All Hail, we wrote it and we wanted to bring, it's kind of like an anthem about just like how much we love women in every way. It's as simple as that. Just like, like, because I'm part of the queer community, like loving women in that sense, but also like caring about women that I don't know around the world and just saying all hail and how much I just appreciate everything that they do and like everything that they are, a trans woman, all woman. So I remember writing that tune. I was like, I want it to be fun. I want it to be a dancey tune and I want it to bring joy because I feel joy when I think about women and womanhood. And I feel like, yeah, we definitely were excited to release that one because it was just a really nice way to end it, the album.
Lauren often would show us two songs at a time. So she showed us the song Hollow and All Hail at the same time and taught us that song. So I sort of see them as sister songs. And in regards to you bringing up, it's such a fun way to end like the album after dealing with sort of more extreme, harder songs. Yeah, to have like Hollow where Lauren talks about like internalized biphobia and biphobia from others, and then to go into a song where she's so proud to love women and so happy to love women. I think that's so important and like such a good contrast.
Give me space, let me elaborate. The power of these queens. They give me life, they feed my soul with the rock and roll. Powerfully. All hail my queens. She's my majesty. Response is automatic. I feel so dramatic. They
Yeah, that's interesting that they were brought up together because they're really, I guess, the light and dark
Mhm.
of the same point of view. So that's really interesting. Um, and so my last real question would be, how do you envision the future of women in rock and the future of women in Canadian society? It can be like what you'd like to see, like the areas for improvement, obviously, but also if you want to give a more realistic take on what you see happening, you have the floor.
I saw this really great quote this morning. One of my favorite bands is Nova Twins, and they're in the UK, and it was something along the lines of, in order for rock to survive, we need to diversify. And they talk about bringing like POC voices and like woman voices into rock and like uplifting them when they haven't been for years. And I just think that that's such a beautiful way to envision the future of this genre, because there's so many amazing artists that do not get the recognition that they need. And for someone like Nova Twins to like rise up and like give that recognition to these bands is incredible. And like we hope to do the same thing. We book shows when it's safe to, and I just can't wait to showcase all the amazing rock bands that are queer and trans and Black, Indigenous. Like there's so many amazing artists, and I really just see that for the future of rock. And in terms of Canada and women's rights, just seeing like women in all positions everywhere, and for it to be like perfectly normal, and for it to be comfortable, so that when a woman gets posted on Schecter's Instagram, that the immediate reaction isn't misogyny. It's just like, oh, that rocked. So yeah, the Shannon.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see more women in general, more women of color, definitely. More trans women. I want to see all different types of women who represent different walks of life. I think music definitely in Canada and all over the world needs to diversify and become more inclusive. Like Lauren said, it shouldn't. Seeing a woman playing an instrument, the first reaction shouldn't be misogyny. Like that. That shouldn't be normal. That should be called out. So I'd like to see in music, obviously, more men holding men accountable when they see their friends doing that. Because it shouldn't always be a woman being like, "Hey, don't talk to her that way." It should also be men being like, "Hey, don't talk to her like that, or you aren't going to be part of our circle anymore." I think it's important for everyone to be held accountable, especially men, when it is men mainly targeting women.
I was wondering if you guys had anything to add, future projects or anything like that.
Yeah, right now we're working on our second album, which is really exciting. So obviously we're still in quarantine. So me and Shannon have been passing parts back and forth, bouncing ideas off of each other. We're really looking forward to the springtime because we're going to demo some stuff. We record outside with masks. That's the plan. So we're looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah. Can I talk about our song?
Yes, yes, you can.
Lauren and I, as soon as we met, we bonded over being queer women. I identify as a lesbian and she identifies as bisexual. So we immediately started talking about how lesbians and bi women interact with each other, and how there often is sort of biphobia within the LGBT community. Well, LG, not the B community. There's often biphobia amongst everyone, and it's not cool. So we sort of talked about lesbian and bisexual solidarity, and we've sort of written a song about that called "I Like Girls Like You Do," and we talk about how we sort of do different parts where Lauren talks about her experience as a bi woman, and I talk about my experience as a lesbian. Yeah, Lauren, do you have anything to add about that?
Yeah, we're really excited because that will definitely be the first single. So there's some new news for you on what we're working on.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. That's exciting. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to Trafic de Rock. We're really glad to have you here, and thank you for everything and all the best for any future projects. I'm looking forward to being able to actually come and see you guys live whenever that's possible. So awesome.
Oh.
You guys have a great one.
Thank you so much. You have a good day. Thank you. You did an amazing job.